What's up, homies? Welcome back to the Field Report. If this is your first time here, welcome to Thornwyld. This is where I talk about San Marcos local bands, drop footage of their sets, and release my own music. The point of this series is simple. It's to help you discover local bands, and it's to help me remember how I feel about who I see. Remember, these are just my opinions. Cool. All right, this show was on November 29th out at SPOSM, also known as the skate park of San Marcos. It was free for the public. I've been to SPOSM a ton, and I used to go pretty regularly, but I just haven't been skating a lot lately. Maybe it's time to reconsider that and try to get more events like this going out there, because this one was pretty awesome. The bands on the bill in order were N.I.X, Rancid Treatment, Skrewed, Bonesaw Rust, MurderWorld, and Noisy Neighbors. There was another band listed called Stud Puncher, but I think they might have dropped or something because I don't remember hearing them mentioned at all. The first band that played was N.I.X. You might remember them from the last field report at Hardcore Halloween. The flyer describes them as ATX hardcore crossover. I definitely would still say that they have a very much classic hardcore sound to them, which I'm so happy to hear is still alive and well and ripping. Just like last time, they brought the noise and ripped hard. Their guitarist is a crazy soloist. Dude just melts. He must permanently live on his A game. I also have a great amount of admiration for how their singer manages to play that kind of stuff on bass and also scream their lyrics at the same time. I talked to the singer afterwards, and I think, low-key, he wants to be free of that bass and live his best life as a frontman. I support this. Since they were the first band, the crowd was still trying to come to life, but I still thoroughly enjoyed their set. Like I said before, you can spin their music on most major platforms, and there's a couple good performance videos of them playing on YouTube. Altogether, my ruling is still 8 out of 10 for the pure noise and energy they bring when they play. It's like a sonic barrage. The next band I caught was Rancid Treatment. From what I understand, these guys carried a lot of the responsibility of putting this show together, so I want to give them huge props for that. Massive respect. My impression was that they're just kind of starting off. They had guitar, vocals, and it looked like they were swapping out between 2 drummers. I do have some constructive feedback for this group here. For the vocalist, face the crowd and command some attention. Make your announcements with your chest and have some attitude. That alone is going to help your stage presence a ton. As far as the songs go, the songwriting, I think either you should make longer songs or you should make the transition so smooth that it just flows together in this beautiful death grind mess. Because here's the thing. If you want me to get in that pit and make some problems, cause some trouble, you gotta play something that makes me want to do that for longer than 20 seconds at a time. I really can see the potential in these dudes, and I hope they sharpen that sonic knife until it cuts a gory mess across the San Marcos scene. Altogether, I'm going to give this group a 5 out of 10, but with mad respect for getting up there and making that shit happen. I know that takes guts. The next group I saw was Skrewed, and I will say this immediately. This band was my discovery of the evening. They came all the way from Houston just to bless our ears with some good-ass hardcore. Their sound was this really dope mix of chopped and screwed flavor with beat-down hardcore. It was really sick. The vocalist commanded that concrete like a war zone. Their guitar tones were super nasty and the pinch harmonics were especially ear-pleasing. They had an attitude and they had some really important shit to say about how much ICE, racists, and pedophiles fucking suck. I lost my shit in the pit and slung my roller skating girlfriend around to their set. I hung out with them a bit afterwards and they seemed like some really down-to-earth dudes. If you like hardcore, slam, and classic hip-hop, this shit is tailor-made for you. Their music's on pretty much every official platform. You can check out their newest single, Sinner. It's also on Bandcamp under their label, which I think was Gutted Records, which you should absolutely peep. P.S. I will always recommend supporting artists through Bandcamp, through either their music or merch. It's the best way to directly show love by far, and I say that from experience. Altogether, for their rating, I give them a 9 out of 10. I love their sound and they were super chill. The next band I saw was Bonesaw Rust. This was a super cool group. These were some young fellas described on the flyer as ATX Outlaws. They were fast as hell and definitely had this real classic punk feel to them. Their guitarist had a crazy picking hand. Throughout the show, the singer was one of the most active people in the crowd by far. He really tried to get the energy going even when he wasn't on the mic. I will also say this is easily the most political group of the night that I saw so far. They weren't afraid to say that racists and ICE fucking suck with their whole chest. They had this one track that was basically like a Charlie Kirk hit piece. And at the end, the singer did one of the most out-of-pocket emotes I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy and I loved it. You should go see them if you want to catch it. Right now, you can only listen to them on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure that's tied to a pretty staunch anti-Spotify stance, which I can respect. There's more and more pushback against Spotify lately between not paying their artists what the fuck and their CEO throwing money at AI military companies. So I totally understand that. It's kind of a long time coming. I'll definitely link their song War Dog, which samples the movie Full Metal Jacket and clearly has some shit it wants to say. Altogether, I'll give them a 7 out of 10, which is insane for how young they are. It's only up from here for them. The next band that I didn't see was MurderWorld. They were described on the flyer as HTX blackened hardcore. Unfortunately, I really had to get a snack and take a piss, so I totally missed their set. Since I didn't actually see them, I'm not going to give them a score. I just don't think that would be fair. And I'm pretty bummed about it because I have a particular love for black metal. And it's clear from their recordings that that's a big influence on their sound. Still, they came all the way from Houston to melt some faces for us. The next band I caught was Noisy Neighbors, and they were the final band of the evening. There was absolutely no mistaking what they were. Raw, D-beat, San Antonio grindcore. It was all over their merch, which looked really sick, by the way. They had some hiccups getting their bass to work, and eventually the guitarist/singer and the drummer just had to say fuck it and play. Even so, they felt professional and well rehearsed. They sprinkled in a few fun little cover snippets that got everybody moving. Again, I'm blown away by the amount of talent that it takes to play like that and do vocals like that at the same time. I can handle chord and singing basics, but that shit's on another level. You're looking at probably hundreds, if not thousands of hours of practice. Also, the drummer brought his kid to the show, and I'm pretty sure it was his birthday. So happy belated birthday to him, and that was wholesome as hell. The drummer himself was insane as well, might I add. There's no way that this band exists in its current form without his raw physical effort. I also love the dual guitar cabs that they had going on. It gave it a very rich and stereo sound, which they kind of needed since the bass was out. They're pretty much on all major platforms, including Bandcamp. They released an album back in August called Insolvent. I would go check that out. Altogether, I would give them a solid 8 out of 10. I enjoyed their set a lot. This was a really sick show. I want to give a huge thanks to everybody that came out to play and everybody that came out to rock. I also want to give a special thanks to Rancid Treatment for putting the show together and sourcing the generator that made everything possible. It was a beautiful, loud experience that you all made happen. I also want to talk about something else that's going on in town. The holiday season is here, and next weekend on December 13th from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m., Sean Patrick's Irish Pub is putting on a holiday celebration. I want to see you there, and I want to see you get merry. There are a ton of sponsors and local businesses helping make this happen, so showing up is a great way to support the community. It's an all-ages event, and it's a donation-based entry, so you can either bring $5, a toy for the toy drive, or you can bring canned food for the food bank, just like Warped Tour. God, I miss Warped Tour. All the toys are going to go to KZSM for their annual toy drive, and all the canned food is going to go to the Hayes County Food Bank. There's going to be badass raffle prizes, festive cocktails, live music from local homies, tons of local vendors, a holiday costume contest, gift giveaways, holiday karaoke, and photos with Krampus. It's gonna rock. Get out of the house and come make merry. Thanks to Ricky from Hatewaker for helping put this on. Let me tell you a little bit about what I'm up to. For Maelody, my EP, Mermaids Don't Sing for Dead Men and Other Dorset Street Failures, was featured in the Black Star zine for this month. It's actually right above here. It's framed in on my wall now. Check it out. This is huge for me. You gotta understand, this basically feels for me like I just got a gold record. So massive thanks to the Black Star zine and to Spit Mutant for showing me some love. Like, what? Isn't that dope? If you haven't heard the EP yet, go check it out. You can find it in pretty much all my bios, and also you can follow Maelody.tx on Instagram. Also, A Winter's Remorse has been putting in work. We just dropped a video for our new single, A Curse to Your Savior's Will. And I want to see you check that shit out and run those numbers up. Share it far and wide. I also want to give a huge thank you to everyone that grabbed our new merch. You're making insane things possible for us, and we cannot wait to share the fruits of that with you. I've said it before, and I will say it again. Go out and support your locals. Buy a shirt. Grab a sticker. Hit Bandcamp. Buy some music, and show up. If you say there's no good heavy music here, then you're just not listening. Thanks for watching all the way to the very end. I'll dump the extra clips on the Thornwyld YouTube, which you can find a link to in the Thornwyld Instagram bio. It would mean a lot if you would drop a like and a comment, give me a follow, subscribe to the Thornwyld YouTube channel. I'll tag all the bands and organizers I mentioned below. Go and show them some love. If you like what I'm doing, it would mean a lot if you would hop over to my Ko-Fi page and buy me a coffee or tip me. This helps me afford show cover charges, lets me buy cool merch from local bands, and helps me keep making these sick-ass videos for you. I'll put a link to that in my bio. Thank you so much. This has been the Thornwyld Field Report, and I'll catch you next time, homies.